Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Budget Beauties, The Breakdown. I am Lindsay Beatty. I am the creative force behind Budget Beauty, and this is my daily breakdown of a look that I've done that I want to talk about how I achieved it, what I did, maybe some new stuff going on with the look. Um, this is today. This is a really good one. I'm glad I decided I was going to do a breakdown today because I did do some new stuff and I got some really, really fantastic results. So let's get started. Hi. So I decided to wear pink this morning. I was gonna wear brown, but then I was like, I'll wear pink. Um, and I decided that I was going to try some of the new things that I've gotten. I bought some things over the weekend. I bought like 10 things over the weekend. And so I was like, I'm going to try them today and incorporate them into my look today. So, um, yeah, pink. As you can see, I have on this pink cardigan that I bought ages ago from Old Navy, but I'm wearing the pink dress that I wore. If you watched the breakdown last week, Friday, not this past week, but the week before that, Friday, when I went to my sister-in-law's bridal shower shindig, and the night before I'd had dinner with my in-laws, and so I wore pink. I chose to wear pink. That is, I'm wearing that dress. So this is, but I wore a different color sweater than the one that I wore in that video. This is my other sweater that I bought from, this one I bought from Old Navy. The other sweater that I wore that's a light pink, it's a pale pink. I got that from New York and Company back in the day. So I decided to wear this kind of like hot pink today to go with the pink dress that I'm wearing. So and then I accessorized with my pink flower and my peppermint earrings. And you can kind of sort of see them. Um, these are my peppermint earrings. So pink accessories. So today was a pink day, and also I'm wearing my strand of pearls that I got from my mom. So yeah, I got dressed up this morning, went to work, and was like, oh, you know what? Let's do our makeup. And so I did my makeup. I got up early. I actually took my time doing my makeup this morning. So there's that. But yeah, I think I really like the end result. So there is a mix of new and old products here. So I'm trying to get myself together here a little bit. To start with, I used the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. Um, this is the anti-aging. I found new life in this tube. We found new life. For my eyeshadow primer. Because I always start with my eyeshadow primer. Um, and then to do I let that dry. Under eye, I used the, this is the Essence Lash Princess Liquid Liner. This is black waterproof. And it comes, so you guys can see, it's a little tiny tube, but I can get it out of there. So see, it's a little thin wand, and on this eye I drew entirely too much. I had to let it dry. I had to wait for that to dry, and then this eye, my flower, I drew the black also. So I think my eyes actually turned out well. I wanted the black, the heavy black. And then over the top, I used this pencil. I sharpened it a little bit. I have a sharpener, which actually, no, I don't seem to have my sharpener down here. Oh no, yeah, I do. I use this Ulta Beauty pencil sharpener that I bought. It's the Ulta brand. And it's got actually two sizes. One is for like a big giant one, and this is for like a little one. So that's what I use to sharpen. So then, so for my eyes, I cut the crease with black, and then I did the across the bottom. That was with the, this is the gel cream liner from ColourPop, in the shade Swerve. It's the black. I did that across the top of the lash line. And then I used, for the eyeshadow, we went with a powder today. I used Pixie Stick, this one. Really like it. As you can see, it is a very pale pink, and it is gorgeous. I really, really like that Pixie Stick color. That's this right here. So yeah, I really like that color. It is gorgeous. The pink in this pink palette is hitting. Okay, I really like that pink palette. So then, to complete the eyes, I'm trying to think what else did I do here. Yeah. Oh, I did wear mascara today. So there's that. For my mascara, I used the Lash Princess mascara primer. I did not use volume booster. Surprisingly, I did not want to use volume. I decided I was going to use this one this morning. So I used this and Call Me Queen. I used this new Call Me Queen dramatic false lash effect. It is waterproof. So what we're going to do when I take this off tonight, I am going to very carefully use my Neutrogena eye makeup remover, and I'm going to wipe. And we're going to very gently wipe to take off this mascara. Because I do have on mascara. I did actually put mascara on this morning. So we're going to be very, very, very careful when we take this off, because I do not want to lose eyelashes and then have to wait for them to grow back. So now tomorrow, if I wear makeup, which I probably will because I'm going into the office, I probably will not, I might not wear mascara tomorrow. I've been trying to give it a couple of days instead of wearing it every day. We try to give it a couple of days between time that we wear mascara. So I really want to do that and try to be good about letting it rest, giving it time to rest. So that did it for the eyes. I liked how the eyes turned out. I gave myself a wing on both sides. The wing is not as big on this side as it is on this one, but it's a wing. So can't really tell anyway because I got my flower on and it covers it up. So it's okay. Then I did, so then I worked on my face. So face work, all right. This is where we get into the new, okay? So the new, also that Call Me Queen mascara was new, but I also have Call Me Queen. I have this. It's the same thing, except it's not waterproof. It's this one. Now, I like these for the wand, because the wand on the Call Me Queen, before I get into my face, let me just briefly talk about this. So the wand on this, I really like. As y'all can see, this wand is great for spreading them lashes out. So, I know you can't really see it with this black over the top of the lash line, but it spreads them lashes out, and I'm looking in the mirror now, they're still very much standing up, and they're very much, I'm just touching it. I'm not really even like making it stand up. They're still, they still have mascara on them. They're still standing up. So very pleased. But I really like that Call Me Queen, because I like that wand. The wand is fantastic. So, all right, let's move on to the face. So for the face, we used primer, the e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer, as usual, 2 pumps. And I was very, very pleased with how much I got on. And then, ladies and gentlemen, charlatans and shit heels. Your girl had a Meemaw moment. So I bought this. And if you watch the beauty haul, y'all have seen my video on this. So I bought this. This is the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Natural Radiance Foundation. Now, I really love Juvia's Place stuff. Y'all know because I use it all the time. I'm generally using something Juvia's Place in my look somewhere. If not the eyeshadow, I'm using the concealer. Okay. So I said, well, let me try Juvia's Place foundation. Let me try some. I like Juvia's Place a lot. I like their liquid lipsticks. I like their concealer. I like their eyeshadow. I love their eyeshadow. Eyeshadow is fantastic. I've worn Juvia's Place, as y'all have seen in the main series. I wore it for my engagement photos. I wore it for my wedding photos. Okay. So, and I use their primer also. So I went and I got this. $23. Fantastic buy, by the way. Fantastic. This is in the shade Cameroon. Okay. Now, as y'all can see, I have it on my face. This is a perfect match for my skin. I had no trouble with it matching my skin. So where we had the Meemaw moment was, I call myself being cute. First of all, I did not shake it up. That's cardinal sin number one. Meemaw moment number one. Then your girl did this number right here. Y'all see me screwing this off, right? So I took this thing off right here, and I'm just dotting on my face. And I said, this is awful little small. This real small. I don't think this is right. I don't think I'm supposed to do that way. So I screwed it back in. And I said, well, let me try that one more time. Maybe I took it out and I wasn't supposed to take it out. So I said, well, let me try one more time. Let me take that out one more time. Maybe it's supposed to come down. It's a little small thing. I said, well, maybe it's supposed to come down. Welp. No. So I took it out one more time. So then I said, you know what? I don't think this is right. Now I done already put dots all on my face at this point. So I was like, well, let me go look this up here and let me go find out what's going on with this. So I got on YouTube. I found a lady who I subscribed with my personal channel, not my budget beauty channel. But I wound up subscribing to her because I watched her video. She had tried this foundation 2 years ago. She bought it 2 years ago. And I said, well, let me watch her video, see what's going on. Let me see how to put this on. Maybe I'm just missing something. Yeah, well, Meemaw was missing something because she says, well, now what you need to do is shake it up real well before you put it on. And I said, well, shit, we didn't shake it up. That's kind of a problem. You know better whenever you use any type of wet product, you got to shake it up real good. Okay, so that was problem number one. So I shook it up. And then she says, well, then you've got to, then you pop your cap off. Pop your cap off, you say. I had a total Meemaw moment because now y'all just sat here and watched me tell you that I twisted it off. Yeah, Meemaw wasn't supposed to twist that off. Meemaw was supposed to pop this cap off like this because there is a pump here. Okay, much like my Pretty Fresh foundation from ColourPop. So you can imagine just how dumb I felt when she said, you got to pop that cap off. I said, I looked so dumb. So what I did was I popped it off. And I did the pumps like I do with my like I do with the ColourPop. So and I'd already put dots on my face. So then I actually gave myself more foundation because I felt like I didn't have enough. Because you didn't have enough, Meemaw. You didn't have enough. So I did, and then I worked it in. I did my usual. I had a little, I got a little blending sponge, and I worked it in. Love it. This is the natural radiance, and it does give you a glow. It gave me a glow. It matched my skin perfectly. So I was very happy. I was very pleased with that result. So, as you can see, we're going to follow up because I'm going to tell y'all what else I did here. Now, thanks to one of my followers, Miss Gina. Miss Gina was the one who said, and I've talked about this, I've touched on it in previous videos. I was complaining and I pointed out that I had this problem with having a super shiny plasticky face. Okay. And I said, well, I don't know why my face is super shiny and plasticky. Miss Gina pointed out in one of her comments that, hey, you need to use setting powder instead of a setting spray because setting powder is going to mattify it and blur it down, okay? If you use wet foundation with wet setting spray and concealer, you're going to get a wet result, okay? Which results in your face looking shiny and plasticky. So I said, okay, all right, I see you, Miss Gina. So what I did was I went on a hunt. I said, I'm going to go get me some setting powder. She highly recommended Juvia's Place. So I said, well, I already used Juvia's Place, everything else. Let's go on ahead and let's use some Juvia's Place. Let's see if we can find the Juvia's Place setting powder. So alas, I did not find the one that I was specifically looking for. It's the I Am Magic loose setting powder. They don't have it at the Ulta that I go to all the time. They don't have it at any of the Ultas in my city, okay? So I searched, went and looked. Then I found it in good old Sumter, South Carolina. Good old Sumter. There's a reason why it's called Sumter. It's not really Sumter. It's really Sumter, but we call it Sumter. Because Sumter is known for having some foolishness going on. So I said, well, let me go on. I see it's in good old Sumter. I guess we'll take a trip down there to get it. Well, I went to go take a trip down there to get it, and then they popped up and said, not available in Sumter. So I said, well, damn it. All right. So it looked like the only place that's got it is two places. Two. One was in Indian Land, which is in North Carolina. It's right outside of Rock Hill. Not going all the way to Indian Land. Rock Hill is about 45 minutes from here. And I said, I ain't going all the way to Indian Land to get no makeup now. I ain't driving, which I was prepared to drive to Sumter. That's the problem here. Sumter's 45 minutes away. So I said, well, all right, fine. If I got something else to do around that area, I would go. Now, we got some family that live up there. So I said, well, maybe we'll take a trip. We got to call folks. You can't just be popping up and showing up and talking about you coming to visit and you ain't called first before you came now. They have lives. They might be busy. So I said, well, that's a bit of a trip. And I don't want to go all the way up there for just that. And then got to be disrupting folks this weekend and all of that. So I said, well, I'll look to see. I was going to Spartanburg 2 weeks ago for my sister-in-law's stuff. So I said, well, let me see if they got it in Spartanburg. No. So the saga that is finding this, it turns out, we just wasn't going to get it. Okay. The other place that they said that they had it was Greenwood, South Carolina. And the short version is my ex-husband is from Greenwood. And I affectionately refer to it as the armpit of the universe. Actually, it's the butthole of the universe. Sumter is the armpit. Lumberton, North Carolina is the athlete's foot, crevice of your toe of the universe. So I was like, I ain't going to Greenwood. We just not going to Greenwood. We not doing that. So I said, well, I ain't going to Greenwood for no makeup because I don't want to go to Greenwood, period. I don't care what's in Greenwood. I ain't going. So I said, well, we just ain't going to go. So what I did was I wound up getting something else. And what I got was I got three other things. Instead of just getting one, I got three things. One is the Makeup Revolution, and y'all have seen this in my beauty haul. When I post this beauty haul video, you will see that I talked about when I bought this. I got the Makeup Revolution translucent setting powder. Baking powder is what they call this, but it's setting powder. Translucent, okay? I got that. Then I also got, and I know y'all can barely see this, but this says ColourPop. Okay, there it is. I can kind of sort of get that to show up a little bit. This is the ColourPop, and this is No Filter Loose Setting Powder. Okay, that's number 2. But then, winner, chicken dinner, we got us Juvia's Place. So, what I wound up getting was the Juvia's Place, I Am Magic, oh shucks, Silky Finish. That's what it was. Okay, I was trying to remember exactly what I bought. But I talked about all this in the beauty haul episode that I just did. This is the Silky Finish, and it is in the shade Warm Honey. Okay. So what I wound up doing, for the first time, I tried setting powder. So what I did was I tried this, and I set my face this morning with this. I used the Natural Radiance Foundation. I used Juvia's Place Concealer, which you can't really read the words on it. I mean, it's kind of right there. But this is their concealer in the shade J8. I used that to do my concealer. And then I set it with setting powder. And thus, the result, and I can tell y'all, earlier today, I checked it under better lighting. This is in my room where I do my makeup. So this lighting makes my face just look shiny in general, as does my ring light that I'm using to record here. But it was mattified and blurred. It was not shiny at all. This is just natural flash a little bit. And it's not really flashback because they say no flashback with most of these. But this is my light doing this. This is not necessarily my face is shiny and oily or anything. It's not. It is actually very, very mattified thanks to this. So I was very, very pleased with the result. I like the overall ending result here, and it has held up for, it is now, according to my clock in here, it is almost 7. So, yeah, I think it's almost 7. I think. It might be almost 8. Might be almost 8 actually. Looking at that clock, I think that says that's 8 o'clock. I'm glancing at it kind of hard. And it's across the room, and Meemaw eyes ain't what they used to be. So, thanks to age and diabetes. So, yeah, I think that says it's almost 8. So, yes. So then that means probably 12 hours then. This is after 12 hours. And you can see on the side, you can see where it's not super blurry. It's very blurred, much more smooth. And so work friend told me, because I was relaying the story of buying this new setting powder. He said that he noticed that, yes, it was much more smooth. And I was like, why, thank you. So it is, I noticed a marked difference when I put it on this morning. I felt like I put on a little bit too much, but apparently I did not. I just had to spread it out. And when I did that, let me see if I can find what I did it with. Aha. Okay. So I got a pyramid puff. As y'all can see, it's kind of already, you can see up here. But I got a pyramid puff, and I did it with this. So, and it's the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Pyramid Puff. Now, when I did this, so I tried this last night before I did my makeup this morning. I tried this out because I was like, let me see how this works. I tried the translucent powders. I really like the translucent powders. And then I tried a little bit of the Warm Honey. So, I tried this with putting my finger in here like you're supposed to. Yeah, that didn't work so well for me. So I wound up just having to doing like this and not, well, trying to think, how did I really do this? I wound up just grasping it by the bottom and doing like I do with my sponges. So yeah, I was very pleased with the end result. This looked gorgeous this morning. So I've got a little bit of settling, but not much. I'm trying to look at my mirror here up close. Yeah, I mean, it's very little. It's very little. I'm very pleased with it. I was very pleased with the end result, and I'm still pleased with it. So yeah, um, it turned out real well. So I didn't use setting spray for once, and I didn't use my sweet full fan. It's first time for everything. So that was the saga of the face. Okay. So for the lips, moving on, for the lips to follow up, what I did was I used the Wet n Wild gel lip liner, Perfect Pout gel lip liner in the shade Lay Down the Mauves. I lined it, and you can't really even tell that I put anything on. I have drank something, several somethings in the last couple of hours. So there's that. But you couldn't even tell I had liner on this morning. So there's that. And then for the lips, I did the Sephora Soft Matte and Easy. I used this as the base and gave myself a very, very beautiful soft pink base. I really actually like this now. It took me a minute to really get used to it and get used to that color that with this, when they say soft and matte and easy, they really mean soft and matte and easy. This is also in the shade Nevermind. It is number 5, and it is the shade Nevermind. You kind of got to get used to it if you're not used to it. But once it dries down, a beautiful soft pink that looks about like this sweater that I have on, but it's super, super soft. And as you can see, it's still kind of there. It's still kind of there. And like I say, I have drank and ate something. And I'm also fixing to go cook and eat dinner. So I'm going to touch this up just a tad. Just a tad. But yeah. So, like I say, you can't even tell that I have on something. It kind of just gives it a little bit of defining Perfect Pout. And then I'm going to put this on, and then I'm going to show you what I put on top of this. So I'm going to touch this up just a tad. As you can see, it's pink. It's very pink. But it's a soft, subtle pink. At least on my lips, it's a very soft, subtle, kind of almost like my natural pink lip. Because I do have naturally pink lips, top and bottom. Okay. It does not take long to dry. And as you can see, this is so it's not a loud pink. It's a very soft, subtle pink. And I really like this. I actually really fell in love with this. At first I didn't like it because I was like, I keep having to use different swipes. And I'm keep having to swipe it on, swipe it on, swipe it on. But once I realized when they said soft, easy matte, they meant it's very soft. So it's kind of like using the Teddy tint. And knowing that is why when I bought the Teddy tint, I had the experience with this. I was like, okay, the soft super stay Teddy tint is supposed to be soft. It's not supposed to be a hard, full coverage. It's not supposed to be that. So knowing that, I knew how to put that Teddy tint on. And yes, I did confirm I was in Ulta when I was buying all my products this weekend. It does tell you when you in the Teddy Tent section, because I looked at the Teddy Tent section and I was thinking about buying another shade of the Teddy Tent. When you do the Teddy Tent, it's supposed to, they tell you it's buildable. So one swipe, sheer. 2 swipes, medium. 3 swipes, full coverage. So you have to build on that Teddy Tent. And that has been my experience in that. I knew I had seen that somewhere, and I was like, where have I seen that? I know I've seen it. It was there. And when I bought the Teddy Tent, because I didn't buy the Teddy Tent from Ulta, I bought it from Walgreens. So, yay, drugstore makeup. But the Teddy Tent, I did look at buying it, and I saw the shade that I have. It was $12, I think, in Ulta and in the Walgreens. This is the Teddy Tent that I'm talking about. This is the Maybelline. I know that's probably upside down. It is. It is upside down. This is the Superstay Maybelline Teddy Tent. And this is in the shade Current Mood. I know because I looked at it in the store. It's the only reason why it's popping up into my mind. But this is really good. I actually really like it. So then what I did was, to finish this look off, on the lips, I put the Wet n Wild Color Icon lip gloss in the shade Libra. Yep, Libra. So let's see. I can do it here since I just touched that other part up. You really don't need a lot to get that cute pink shine to it. Let's see. And that is what I look like this morning. That is exactly what I look like this morning. And spread it out. So, yay. Very excited. Very, very excited. So, that is the completed look. This is the end result. And note that I did not have to touch up my eyes. ColourPop, I generally don't have to touch it up. Generally. With like my eyeshadow or whatever. Whether it's a shadow stick or powder, I generally don't have to touch it up. Same thing with Juvia's Place. Especially if I'm wearing primer, which I do. I do not put on eyeshadow without primer. Oh, heavens no, we don't do that anymore. But I generally, because I do that, I don't have to touch it up. And it looks pretty good. So, this is the completed look. So, I want to thank you for watching. I may or may not record tomorrow, depending on how I decide to do my makeup. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But if I do and I decide to record tomorrow, I hope you come back and watch and see my look from tomorrow. I want to thank you for watching. Peace.